okay? Because we're getting ready to plant for more spring stuff and summer stuff.
Wait, it's March.
I know, and we're planting summer stuff. It's crazy.
If you love gardening and you get that itch where you just want to start, this is how you start.
This is how you do it. Check out what we have. You can see it. We have rolled the soil using a spade fork. Great way to move the soil. It's also a very friendly way of moving it as well, so you don't overly disturb your worms and things like that. But I have a recipe for you that you're going to want to know about. And things are more simple for organic gardening than what you may realize. A lot of people are afraid of it because they think it's very, very expensive. Now, the products can be expensive, but because they're such quality products, you don't have to use as much of the stuff. And I'm going to show you what I've got here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I like to call it, I'm going to amend the soil. I'm going to put back into the soil what should already be in here. That's been part of the problem with what's been going on in our world. Our soils are stripped. Well, it's not going on in here, I'm telling you. We're putting the stuff back the way that it was supposed to be in here. Now, one of the things you got to have in your soil is calcium. What these are eggs. Not scrambled eggs, egg shells. And what I've done is I put these in a little coffee grinder, and not a coffee grinder that I'm using, by the way. And I just put that into a nice powder, and we're going to put calcium back in the soil. The value of calcium is that, look at it this way. Calcium is kind of like the glue that holds the cells together in a plant. So you really want this stuff, especially if you're doing tomatoes, but you want it for everything. And so I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to be nice and let this soil just go, oh, yeah. And by the way, you know what else really likes calcium in the soil? Well, I say calcium. Eggshells in the soil? Worms, man. They love to consume this stuff. It's good for their gut. And you want worms to have a good gut, because if the gut's working, the poop is working, all that good stuff. You know what I mean. I don't need to go over that with you, right? So look at what we're doing. It's so easy. What a great way to, you know, for those of you that have chickens and stuff, well, I'm thinking most people probably eat eggs. Save those eggshells. Never throw eggshells away. Don't be crazy. All right, there it is. Calcium. Next thing you want. Ooh. Blood meal. Now this stuff it's very dry. It's not like pasty or anything like that. It's almost like a gritty sand. Very, very dry. It'll apply on here really nice. Blood meal is a good source of nitrogen. So we're going to be covering about maybe a total in this 20 by 20, about 350 square feet. And so I'm going to use I'm going to actually use 2 pounds of blood meal to cover that whole thing. So, and that's a recommended use. And so this is all I'm going to do. Just kind of get it in there. Now, by the way, you want to keep in mind, extra is not necessarily good when it comes to nitrogen, okay? So don't think like, yeah, they're recommending, you know, a pound for every 100 square feet. I'm going to double it. You don't want to do that, because what you'll do is you're going to have great looking plants, and they're going to be really leafy and all that, but you're not going to get the flower growth that you want. You got to have the flowers, because that's where your fruit comes from. So don't overdo it. And this is all you do. I mean, this is so simple. A young child could do it. I'm telling you, it's that simple. Although you don't want the kids to be playing with this stuff, because they put their fingers in their nose and their mouth and all that. You don't want that. Oh, you got to see what this stuff is. This is a mined mineral. It's actually called, it's a stone. It's like a salt. Looks like a salt anyway. It's called sulpomag. SUL-PO-mag. Sulfur, potassium, magnesium. This stuff is awesome for the garden. Now I've got, right in here right now, I've got about a pound in here, and that's what I'm going to use to cover 350 square feet. So you don't need a lot of this stuff. The primary, this is basically potash is what it is. The benefit of this is the magnesium more than anything else. Sulfur is good for color and flavor. Potassium is good for overall health of the plant. Magnesium, photosynthesis. And I'm telling you, you want photosynthesis as much as you can get so that plant can feed itself, you know, through the leaves with the sun and all that stuff. So you can see I don't have to put all that much on here. Don't go too liberal with this stuff. Try to stick with the recommended use. And that's it. Look at that. One more thing, and I am big on this particular thing. This stuff is called Azomite. It's in pelletized form. Don't be thrown by the little pellets. The pellet itself, these little brown things, it's basically molasses is what it is. And so what they've done is they've taken the stone, the crushed stone, and they've made it into pellets like this. It's a lot easier to use than getting it in the white powder. Some of you may want to go for the white powder. It's the same thing, but obviously there's more volume here because of the pelletized stuff. If you get the white powdered stuff, you're going to want to wear a mask. It is messy, I'm telling you. You want to think twice about that. But Azomite basically is 70 minerals and trace minerals that belong in the soil. And this stuff's been mined in Utah. They found this huge deposit in Utah. There's marine stuff in there, volcanic stuff in there. You cannot put too much of this stuff in your soil. You're basically giving the soils all the minerals that it should have, and then each plant really knows what it's looking for. So the more minerals you have in the soil, the better that your plants are going to grow when they can tap into that. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's what we've done. 4 things to amend the soil. We already have a pretty good compost base in here. We did it in the fall, and we'll do it again next fall. We've amended the soil. Now we're going to roll it. Check it out. Here we go. So easy. Just kind of roll it. You don't want to go super deep with it. Just kind of roll it in. And then we'll rake it up. Flatten this out, and we get ready for planting. And you know what? The funnest thing for people like me and you, I know, because if you're interested in this stuff, it's all about the planting, isn't it? Oh, it's all about that anticipation of what it is that we're going to get when we get these plants into the soil. By the way, I'm amazed that we're doing this in the middle of March in New Hampshire. And we're going to be planting summer crops in here as well as some spring crops. Amazing. It's exciting. Before we do the planting, you're going to want to see this. We're going to show you how we wire this thing up for our drip system. And in these high tunnels and the domes that we're working with, the best premium way to grow your stuff is using a micro drip system. And I'm going to show you how to put it in. It's easy, easy, easy. I guess I'll leave you for now with these words. Harvest domination. See you next time, man. We got a lot to show you. See you next time.